Yeah. Kartel Talk. ABQ, stand up. Hey! Turn it up. Hey! Turn it up. Yeah. From the 5-5 to the whole wide map. We in Duke City, put the truth on wax. Mic on the table, mismatched chairs. Desert in the window, we just breathe that air.
What is up, Kartel? Welcome to Kartel Talk. Today we have a special guest. Today we got a powerful guest in the building, straight out of Albuquerque, South Valley. He's an entrepreneur, a creator, and the mind behind the brand called noloveloat.clothing brand. Using his story to inspire real change, he's also the host of the Chosen to Change podcast, and everything he touches is rooted in growth, discipline, and transformation. Josh is a man who broke generational cycles, built his life on his own terms, and dropped 50 pounds while leveling up mentally and emotionally. But his journey didn't come easy. He grew up fast, faced real struggles early in life, and had to figure life out while others depended on him. After hitting rock bottom at 25, counseling became the turning point that changed everything. Now he's focusing on becoming the man he never had guidance from, learning from himself, healing, building a better future for his kids. He's known for being real, unfiltered, and standing on truth. No matter how uncomfortable it gets, this is a story about pressure, pain, growth, and choosing to rise every single day. Let's get into it. Welcome to Kartel Talk, Josh.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I remember, man, this was just a conversation. This was just an idea, right? Hey, boom, you know what I mean? And now we're finally here, so.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because, I started going for the walks with you guys over there with 1GM. If you guys don't know, they do a walk every morning, 4:30 in the morning over there kind of by Russ Hospital. So if you guys ever want to go and have a good conversation, they talk about God, religion, they talk about life struggles, they talk about just talks. Men, females are welcome. It's a great 6-mile walk. It's at your own pace. Normally everyone stays together, but it's a good time to go away to start your week or to end your week and even to start your day. So it's one of those things that's very, very awesome because at the same time, you also network with people and it's weird. People from everywhere.
No, bro, it's crazy. And a lot of people think like, it's just the guys that we work with. A lot of them don't even work, or they didn't work with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But somehow, some way, we can all help each other out. Whether that's a conversation or that's just you see people who are like-minded like you. And honestly, for me, I started back in October, right whenever it all kind of happened. And bro, I've lost about 35 pounds since October. So I actually, well, my birthday was this last Tuesday, and I hopped on the scale and I was at 210. So I started off at 260 back in August, and yeah, bro, I'm 210 pounds. It's been.
And how do you feel, man?
I feel amazing, bro. Honestly, I haven't felt like this since probably I graduated high school, which is what 16 years. Yeah, 16 years.
16
now.
years.
Yeah, so it's crazy, bro, just to see it now. It's become such a habit. Like if I don't start the walk, my whole day's off. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's a lot of dedication. Waking up at 4:30 in the morning or 4 to show up, especially out there in Russ. Yeah, it's crazy because whenever I haven't gone in a while, but normally when I go, it's a good vibe, good people, and it's just crazy to see like. The people driving by, like, what are these guys wearing ski masks and vests and just walking around?
Well, in that time, like in the winter, bro, it was like 6 degrees, 10 degrees at one point. And now, now it's getting nice. It's like 50 degrees when you're out there. So you don't have to bundle up, ski mask, you know what I mean? Now you can kind of be a little bit loose. Yeah. But
my favorite part about that walk was like whenever we stopped for coffee. Yeah. That's like my favorite part.
Well, we don't really show that, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't know you stop and get coffee and you just kind of just hang out, you know what I mean? You kind of, but like the crazy thing is you work with people or you think you know someone and then you have a conversation with them and they're like, or especially like the youngsters that are there. You know what I mean? Like that's my biggest thing. If I could just give someone some advice that I wish I had that young, you know what I mean? That could just little nuggets, you know what I mean? Like,
well, that's kind of how you and I got kind of collabed a little bit because we started talking because I saw your podcast. And I'm like, man, he has some good people, some good ideas, good stories, and I'm like, I kind of want something similar, right? And I mean, we talked about it. You gave me your pointers, your advice, and I mean, here we are now. So,
yeah.
It's just crazy. So tell me about yourself, bro. Where are you from? You from Albuquerque? Born and raised?
Yeah, I'm from Albuquerque, born and raised. Grew up in the South Valley. Went to Pajarito, Polk, Rio Grande. I landed up going to Valley my senior year.
Okay.
Because I just knew too many people, bro. I wasn't gonna graduate. I already knew it. Not that like I was really a troublemaker. Just school. Like now that I have kids and I poured into my kids and I realize I see my kids' struggles. They all have dyslexia, and as I'm sitting in these IEPs, I'm looking. I'm like, damn, I struggle with the same thing. I was just like, either, you know what I mean? Like, figure it out. Like there was no help. So for me, like, I was really, really smart, especially with numbers. Like, I just
numbers.
Yeah, numbers come to me. Now, reading, not so much. Like, I could read, but I have to read about 3 or 4 times in order to really understand it. So it sucks. So I'm like, bro, school was cool, but I was like, what is Oñate gonna teach me whenever I'm 34 years old? To this day, I still don't care. You know what I mean? But it's kind of changes the way I parent. Like whenever it comes to my kids in school, I don't really care about grades, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
The only thing I care about is at your parent teacher conference, are you putting in the effort? Are you a good peer? Are you respectable? You know what I mean? Like, what's your effort level? That's one thing I care about. And the reason why only thing I care about that, well, I mean, not only, but you know what I mean? Like the reason why I'm so big on that on my kids is because you can't teach effort. You can't teach someone how to just be like on it. You know what I mean?
Teach character.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you can, but it has to be taught from a young age. And I'm the type of person, bro, I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the biggest person. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like I've never been that person, but I guarantee you put me and someone next to me who like someone who has all the book knowledge, you put me next to them, I guarantee you I'll outwork you every fucking time because I'm going to bust my ass and I'm going to show them my worth where, you know what I mean? Rather than like, well, this book, like, no, let's get our hands dirty. Let's figure it out.
And that's a good thing you say that because I feel like a lot of people like, they kind of feel like grades is everything, right? Like my daughter, she's a straight A student in honors, and good for her, right? That she's getting A's and everything.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But if she were to get like a B or a C, like I wouldn't be upset because I know things happen. We don't always grasp or understand everything. Everyone has a different learning curve. I feel like a lot of teachers nowadays teach a certain way, their style. Their way or the highway, right?
I feel like that's how it was whenever we were in school. It was straight to the textbook. There was no trying to figure out how each kid learned. Now I feel like it's different.
So with my daughter, I feel like it's kind of the same like back in the day. But I do see that there's a lot of ways to do math now, a whole different way. And I'm like, what?
Bro, my kids be doing math. I'm like, well, and to me, I'm like, bro, you guys are doing it way harder. Like what? Like just why don't you do it like this? But my kids are like, oh, that works. And
I'm like, my son will come home with like boxes and try. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You're in second grade.
It's 2 + 2, bro. It's not
like,
that.
Yeah. I'm like, and then they gotta show their work. I'm like, this is wild.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And I mean, now I think whenever it comes to like school and again, like it's really the effort part for me. And as long as you're turning in all your work and you're trying, you know what I mean? Like I can't be mad at you. You know what I mean? Now, I mean, if you're just bullshitting on the paper, then that's different. But I'm pretty sure the teacher will be like, hey, no, like he's just not getting it and he's not trying. Then okay, we have
or they're ditching a lot.
Yeah. Or you know what I mean? We're gonna have a conversation. But if the kid is actually trying and they're actually putting their best foot forward every, you know what I mean? I'm not everyone's gonna put their best foot forward every day, but majority of the time, like how can you really be mad at someone? Like because if you really think about it, a lot of people who are successful, they didn't do well in school.
No, I agree. Like I know Bill Gates, I know, like, there's a bunch of successful people, like the owner of Starbucks
dropped out. You know what I mean?
Bankruptcy,
yeah,
over and over, and they kept trying and trying and trying.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I'm pretty big on that. Just because and the reason why I'm big on that is I had a teacher at Valley. So I failed chemistry 3 years in a row. My senior year, I had to take a second semester, and he literally sat me down. He was like, "Josh, you're gonna fail my class, and you're not gonna graduate." And I was like, "Okay, what can I do? Because clearly I'm not getting this right." And so he said, "Come into school or come in for your lunch for this next 6 weeks and study. I'll help you. Like, I'll walk you through it, everything." I went 6 weeks, didn't miss one. Like, I ate my lunch in there. Me and him became cool. And the final came. He was like, "Josh, you need to have a 69% in order to pass." And I was like, "Bro, I don't think I give you a 69%. And he was like, just do what you can." And I remember he graded it in front of me, and I got a 49%. And I looked at him, and like, I'm tears. You know what I mean? Like
6 weeks, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? But he literally, bro, he wrote on the paper for my final grade. He gave me a 59.9%, and that rounded up to be a 60%. And he said, I've never done this in my 20 years of teaching. He said, but I also never had a kid come in for 6 weeks straight and study their ass off and try and give it everything they had. So for me, that changed my whole perspective in life.
Well, I mean, you have to understand, bro. There's some subjects that I will never understand.
No.
Like, you can try to beat me with a book. It's not gonna.
I understand, like, chemistry is very big in today's world. Like, I mean, just in life in general, but it's really not at the same. Like, I don't even know what the element table is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care to know either. You know what I mean? Like, so, but back to it, like, him just showing me that my effort mattered, and that was the only reason why I graduated, was because I put in the time and I put in the effort. That stuck with me for the rest of my life.
So I was kind of the same way. So I only went 90 days to school my entire senior year.
Oh shit!
I was gone.
Yeah.
I was always ditching, and so, like, I had a teacher that told me, "Hey, you need to show up, and you have to do these assignments, and I will pass you with a D-."
Yeah.
And the last, like, 2-3 months of school, bro, I tried so hard not to ditch, and just to make sure I showed up and did the work, because I wanted to graduate. I didn't want to get stuck behind.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be that friend that's class of 2010.5. You know what I mean? Like, they graduated in summer school.
Dude, like, see all my friends.
Well, because, like, my dad, like graduating high school is a huge deal. Like, at my graduation party, there was probably about 600 people there.
Oh, at your graduation party?
Yeah, bro. Like, my like, bro, you talk about a party, bro. Like, it was a party from 6 a.m. to.
Was it because you were the first person in your family?
No. It was just, I don't know why it was such a big deal. I mean, obviously, it's like a big accomplishment. I mean, now you really think about it, like, it's not really that big of an accomplishment, because that doesn't define you. But I don't know, for whatever reason, to my dad, that was huge. Like, bro, there was people I never even met. My dad's friends of friends of friends that were coming, and you know what I mean. Like, but it was cool just to see that many people come just for you. You know,
just
what I mean?
For your moment,
just for my moment. So I knew how big of a deal it was to my dad, and I didn't want to let him down. So.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because now people would, like, drop out, get a GED. Same thing.
Or they'll go homeschool now. Yeah.
Easy.
Or they go to E Academy, and it's just work at your own pace.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way I could homeschool. I still wouldn't do my homework.
No.
Like, I'd be worse. I'd probably be the worst student.
I'd rather be playing video games.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. So tell me about your brand, bro, the No Love Lost.
So No Love Lost was a brand that I found, probably it was actually at the lowest time in my life. So backstory, growing up, my mom wasn't around, you know what I mean? She was battling with her substance addiction and stuff like that. And in those times, you know, it was a lot of, my mom would just show up whenever she could, you know what I mean? And I didn't really understand it back then, and it's messed me up as an adult. So my mom was in and out of my life till probably I was about 16. And then her and I got close after graduated high school. I was actually working up at the jail. I was working booking, and I see my mom come in, or like, I just saw the paddy wagon come in, And like, I just got this feeling, bro. And I was like, what the hell?
You're like, that's my mom.
And well, and then like, I'm sitting there and I see my mom come down and I was like, bro, what? Like, it was such a disappointment. And then I look at her charges, you know, and I was like, damn. And then, you know, she went to detox, and like that's what hit me. So I was like, dang, like, you've been lying to me this whole time. Like, I thought we were starting fresh, you know?
So this was after she came back?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And my wife at that time, she was just my girlfriend. My mom called me after she got out. She went and did like 2 years, got out on drug court, and my mom called me. And my wife, she was like, you need to go talk with your mom. And I was like, no, like, I already know the way that this ends. Like, I don't even want it. And she was like, no, like, you need to go talk with your mom. So I lined up talking to my mom. We lined up kind of building a relationship. And then it was just rocky for another 6 years. Because unfortunately, like, my mom tries to make all big situations about herself. Like, especially my big moments, you know. So fast forward to my wedding. My mom, you know, she wants to walk me down the aisle. I had a stepmom that was amazing in my life. She raised me since I was 3 years old. And I made it a point she was going to walk me down the aisle. Her and my dad were going to walk me down the aisle. And my mom obviously didn't like it, you know, which, I mean, understandable, you know what I mean? Like, I'm her son. Yeah, but I had to have a conversation with my mom, and I had to let her know, like, you know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, you don't always get a say so in these moments, you know what I mean? Like, you weren't there, you know what I mean? Like, this is the woman that raised me. This is the woman that gave me everything she could. And somehow, some way, it still wasn't enough. Growing up, even though I had a great stepmom, it wasn't enough because she wasn't the person I wanted, right? She didn't want the person that I wanted to love me. I wanted my mom to love me. I wanted my mom solely. Yeah. And so after my wedding, it kind of just got rocky, man, like real bad. And me and mom landed up getting a confrontation. You know, words were shed. Me and her husband landed up fighting, and my kids were there. Then, I mean, they were young. This was 7 years ago. So my oldest was 10. And I remember, bro, just in the midst of everything, hearing my kids scream. And like, I remember snapping back, and I was like, whoa, like,
what am I doing?
Yeah, like, what am I teaching my kids? You know what I mean? And from that moment, I promised myself that my kids will never know anything like that ever again. My kids will not be a product of, will not know what that environment is because of me. And I felt like I sheltered my kids, but I really wasn't. You know what I mean?
And that must be tough because, I mean, your entire life, right? Like you said, you're never good enough, right? Or your stepmom wasn't good enough for you. You wanted your original mom. And to see that happening with your kids and having to push your mom away and accept the kids, like it's this for the sake of my kids. Not I no longer need you anymore.
Yeah. So as I'm driving home, right, it's kind of just silent in the car, and I remember telling my kids, like, I'm sorry, and like, I mean, it was probably the first time my kids have ever seen me like cry. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get home and I literally, bro, I had to make a decision. It was either the family I came from or the family I was raising, and at that, like, I'm not sure if you ever heard of the term, the little boy that lives inside of you. I didn't know what that was until probably about 2 months after that. So there's a little boy that lives inside of you, right? Obviously, the kid that lives inside of you. Anytime you feel anxious, anytime you feel angry, anytime you feel sad, anytime, those are all those emotions, that little boy comes back up. And it's hard to control that little boy, especially if he's never been comforted, if he's never been loved, if he's never been nurtured. Because you don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? Especially without counseling or without anything like that. And I remember having a conversation with myself, and I had to tell that little boy, like, we got to let go. Like, we can't do this. Like, look what you're doing to your kids. And that was the hardest moment for me, bro, because I had to let go of my mom. And this is something I always wanted my whole life, right? But I also knew in order for my marriage to work, I couldn't allow my mom to be
part of it.
Well, just be in that position, because she didn't respect my mom. I mean, she didn't respect my wife at all. You know what I mean? Like, and I always let it slide during our relationship because it was it was a battle. You know what I mean? But as I stood on that altar, I took that oath very serious, through thickness and, you know, through thick and thin, sickness and health. Like, it was very, very big. So, and this was probably like 6-7 weeks after my marriage, or after we got married. So I was like, all right, this is the first test. You know what I mean? And I remember being rock bottom, bro. Like, I was rock bottom. I went AWOL from work for 2 weeks. I didn't call no one. My wife tried to talk to me. I was like, leave me alone. Like, it legit felt like someone, like I was mourning a death. And I remember calling my mom that next day, and bro, she's just going off. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. You're this, you're that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, that was the confirmation I needed. Finally, after 2 weeks, I called my boss, and I was like, hey, bro, like, I'm sorry. And I was working for Comcast at the time, so a big corporation. You know what I mean? It wasn't just some mom and pop. And he was like, bro, like, what's going on? I told him, I think I'm going to go check myself in. He was like, well, what? Like, did you try to hurt yourself? And I was like, nah, like, I'm just not, like, I'm not who Josh used to be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not happy. Like, I'm super angry. I'm agitated. I'm lost. You know what I mean? He was like, here, call this number. They gave me a number, put me on short-term disability. They set me up with a counselor. And I remember I was kind of pushing back against it. And in that moment, I remember getting the email, and it said, your counselor Sanjeet ran. And in my mind, I was like, bro, it's gonna be some Indian lady. She don't even understand me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My wife pulled me in. Like, she rolled me back because I was going off. She rolled me back in. She was like, Josh, you're already at rock bottom. Like, what else do you have to lose? It's an hour conversation.
And the only way is up from this point.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, I guess. So I remember it was a telehouse. I pull up my phone, you know, and it was a white lady that popped up. And I was like, what the hell? And she told me, she was like, tell me your life. Tell me what's wrong. Tell her everything was wrong. Tell her everything I've been through, bro, from, you know, being around drugs, being around the chaos that my life was, you know what I mean? Like, unstable homes, fighting, you know what I mean? Just everything, bro. Anything you could think of. You know, seeing my mom overdose, like, you know what I mean? Just raising my siblings at 9 years old, bro. I used to beg my dad to let me go to my mom's because I had 3 little sisters that lived at my mom's. And I didn't have to go, but I needed to make sure my sisters were okay on the weekends. You know what I mean? I would go bathe them. I would go feed them. I would go clean up. I'd pick up foils and needles, throw them away. Bro, my mom kidnapped me when I was 6 years old, took me to Texas for 9 months. I was on a milk carton and everything. And so, I mean, when I tell you my life's been chaos, like it's been chaos, right? And I'm telling this lady everything in my life, telling her the way I feel. I don't feel like I'm worthy. I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't deserve nothing in life. And she was like, all right. After, she was like, all right, Josh. She's like, I just have a couple questions for you. And I was like, all right. She goes, what do you want out of life? And like, I didn't know how to answer it, bro.
Were you like,
yeah, well, no one ever asked me that question. No one's ever asked me, what does Josh want? What does Josh want in life?
That's crazy to bring that up because I don't think no one's ever asked me like what I want out of my life.
Mm-mm. And so I like kind of take back and I was like, I don't know. Yeah. And then she was like, well, let me break it down for you. She said, you have severe PTSD, you have severe depression, severe anxiety. Like, if you want to check for $3,500 for the rest of your life, I'll write you up. Long-term disability, you'll be disabled, you'll get a $3,500 check for the rest of your life. I said, well, shit, I got 5 kids, $3,500 ain't gonna feed nobody. I said, all right, well, what's option B? She said, we look at your trauma in the face and we work through it. And we work through it and we build you a life, we manifest you a life, and you build a life that no one can ever take away from you. I said, well, shit, let's do it. And she said, but I'm gonna warn you. And I said, oh, warn me about what? She said, it gets way worse before it gets better. I said, fuck it. I'm already here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already here at this point. Like, bring it. And bro, like, I went through intense counseling for probably about 3 weeks. Like, I mean, just 2 times a week, just crying, bro. Like, just a memoir of memories coming back. Like, and I remember I was talking to my stepsister at the time, and she said, when I used to come back from my mom's, she said, you used to cry and complain that you were sick to your stomach and your body was hurting. And she said, now that I'm in nursing school, I understand you were going through heroin withdrawals at 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. But the crazy thing about it is I don't remember none of that. I don't remember the withdrawals. I don't remember those nights crying. I don't remember.
And you were 6?
I was anywhere from 6 to 9 years old. And to me, that let me know that I was chosen. That let me know that God's been always on my side. Regardless if I don't understand the tests he gives me, I don't understand why I've endured, you know what I mean? The things I've endured. But I truly believe he never allowed me to keep that in my memory bank, because I was not meant to be an addict. I was not meant to be, you know what I mean, like a product of my environment. I was here to break chains. I was here to break the curses for my family and my family, you know what I mean? My family's going forward. And yeah, bro, like to have to sit back, and I was like, dang, I really went through that? And she was like, yeah. And so as I started, like, she gave me 4 books to read. One of them was The Little Boy Within. Another one was like The Artist's Way, and then there's a couple other, The Mother Wound, The Father Wound, stuff like that. And like the mother wound, the father wound don't always necessarily have to be bad. Like you can have great parents, and you're still gonna have father and mother wounds, because at some point, if you have great parents that always gave you everything, you have coddling issues. You know what I mean? Like you were coddled your whole life. If you were neglected, you have abandonment issues. You know what I mean? Like it everybody carries something, regardless of how good or how bad your life is.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want you to start writing a letter every morning when you wake up. And I was like, well, I don't know how. Like, I don't know. And she was like, just scribble. She's like, I promise you, day 2, 3, you'll just scribble. 4 or 5, you'll start to write words. Sure enough, bro. Like I remember pulling out the pen and paper, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I literally was just scribbling on the page, bro. Just getting whatever was in my mind. Like
just trying to paint a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sure enough, by day 4 or 5, like words started coming out. I started writing. I wrote a letter to my younger self. I wrote a letter to my dad. I wrote a letter to my mom. I wrote a letter to my kids. I wrote a letter to my future self. And what I started to notice at the bottom, everything was no love lost on the bottom. It was all signed no love lost. And it was the origin behind it was, just because we don't talk, or just because we're not in the place we want to be, that doesn't mean I don't love you. I love you. I love you just as much. But at some point in your life, you have to choose you. At some point in your life, you have to choose what's best for you, no matter how hard it is. And that's why there'll never be no love lost. I still love you, but I gotta love me more. It's my turn to love me. It's my turn to pour into me. And finally, bro, I became okay with telling my story. I finally became letting everyone know what I've been through, right? Because in school, you don't want to wake up, or they're like, hey, my name's Josh. You know, my mom does this, my dad does that. You know what I mean? Like no kid, like you're embarrassed of that stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person.
Yeah, but I came out with the podcast. It was a No Love Lost podcast. I told my truth. And the people that started to just let me know, like, I didn't know you even went through that. I didn't know you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know nothing like that. And then it became to, hey man, I'm struggling with this. Hey man, like I kind of have a similar story. I just didn't know how to say it. So I was like, well shit, everyone, like, if you really think about it, everyone has a no love lost story. Mm-hmm. Someone's been hurt. Like, you know what I mean? Someone's
either by family, friends,
wife,
like,
husband,
partners,
you know what I mean? Like whatever it is, bro. Like it could be someone that cut you off and you know what I mean? You get in a fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like it could be something as little as that. And the cool thing behind it is I started to understand, just because my perspective of no love lost was, that didn't mean that's what everyone else's perspective of what no love lost was. I agree. And so I printed shirts. I did the artwork, printed shirts. I printed them myself. And I ended up selling them out of my trunk. I did so well. I ended up going back to work. And after 3 months, they gave me 3 months off with pay. I went back to work for 2 weeks. And my boss was like, bro, you're still not right. Go take another month off. He gave me another month off of pay. I was like, shit, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue with it. I started selling t-shirts out of my trunk. And I mean, I was making pretty good money, you know what I mean? Yeah. It started getting bigger, started building. Finally, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna quit. I quit the week before Christmas. All right, I'm gonna go all in. And then we did really well up until March 2020. COVID hit. Boom. I said, oh shit, what am I gonna do now? I quit my job. I can't go talk to people no more. I can't, you know what I mean? It was a really weird place.
Especially because we didn't know what was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's like, you know what I mean? Like, no, barbershops are closed. I would walk in a barbershop. Hey, boom, you know what I mean? Anyone want a shirt? Oh yeah, let me see it. You know what I mean? $30, $30. You know what I mean? Here, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? It was cool. Guerrilla marketing. That's the way the brand started building. So I said, all right, what are you gonna do, Josh? You gonna pivot? Or are you gonna crumble and go? You know what I mean? You can't go back to work. Like, what are you gonna do? I pivoted. You know what I mean? And I started telling my story even more. Everyone kind of started to understand my story, and it just kind of took off from there. You know what I mean? So No Love Lost definitely holds a very, very big place in my life. Obviously, it's my story. The slogan behind it is loyalty over love. Because I would rather you be loyal to me than tell me you love me, because anyone could tell you they love you, but loyalty is shown through actions. So give me your loyalty, don't give me your love.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
And that's where it started. You know what I mean? And it just kind of grew. Like before you know it, I got invited to Arizona to go do a couple pop-ups out there. Went out there, bro, sell out, come back. You know what I mean? Like it was cool, but it was cool just understanding and telling my story. Like to understand the impact my story had and the perseverance behind my story, people were like, dang, bro, that's so inspiring. And me, my biggest issue is I self-sabotage. I don't feel like I'm worthy. I've never felt like I was worthy.
Even till now?
Even now, yeah. Even now, bro. I've accomplished a lot in my life. I've done a lot in my life, but I still struggle with self-sabotage.
And why do you think that is? Have you talked to your counselor?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, if you think about it, a mother is supposed to be the one person that loves you no matter what, always. So for me, my own mother couldn't love me, right? I wasn't good enough for my own mother. Those were my thoughts, right?
But how do you, I mean, after hearing your story, right? I mean, your mom, right? She chose to love something else, right?
Something else was more important to me.
And that's not your fault though.
Yeah, but you're telling a little boy that he sees his friends. He goes over to his friend's house.
For Mother's Day and stuff.
Well, he goes over to his friend's house. Mom's cooking breakfast. Mom's cutting up his sandwich the way that she wants, or the way he wants it. Doesn't even have to ask for it.
Because she knows.
The mom's checking in. Hey son, how are you? You look back and you're like, fuck, I never got no bedtime story read to me. I never got, you know what I mean? Like no one really knows me.
Yeah, I understand that part.
And so as you really like just think about it, it was like I wasn't even good enough for my own mom to stop doing drugs. Now, fast forward, now I understand, right? My mom wasn't taught how to love. My mom wasn't taught how to be a mother because her mom wasn't the best, her mom wasn't the best. You know what I mean? It's all just passed down trauma. Like no one cared enough to really understand and to really be like, hey, this is going to change with me. I'm going to learn how to love. I'm going to learn how to, you know what I mean? So since my mom didn't get the love that she needed as a kid, my grandma kicked her out. You know what I mean? She didn't get the love that she needed as a kid. What does she resort to? What's easy? We all have an easy and choice part in life. You can either choose the easy route. You can go to work. You can, you know what I mean? Be a corporate person, or you can resort to drugs. You can resort to even living somewhere. Find Section 8, $25 a month. That's easy. You know what I mean? Someone can come up with
that's so true that you're saying that, because
you pick your heart. So I tell my kids like this: pick your heart. And my son was like, well, what do you mean? I said, no matter what you do in life, it's hard. You have a shitty ass attitude, it's hard. You have a good attitude, it's hard. You don't have no ambition, it's hard. It's hard to be poor. You're ambitious, you want all nice things in life, you want to conquer the world, that's hard too. You know what I mean? You pick your heart. That's what life is.
And that's one thing I tell my daughter to this day. I'm like, everything that you do in life has a consequence. Doesn't matter what. You can choose this one or you choose this one. You're going to hurt someone's feelings. You're going to hurt someone. You know, that's just how it is.
The shitty part is you could take the better route long term down the road, just like J. Cole said, good news is you came the wrong way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. You know what I mean? Yeah. But again, it's life is all about perspective. Even though you hit rock bottom, what are you going to do from it? Because most people are like, oh, well, I tried. You know what I mean? And instead, it's like, what did that moment teach me? Why did God put me in this obstacle right now? What was he trying to teach me? And I feel like that's why a lot of people stay stuck, is because they don't understand the test, or they keep failing the test over and over and over and over. He keeps putting the same obstacle in front of you for a reason. You're just not answering the bell. You're choosing what's comfortable, and you're choosing to fold. You're choosing to go back to your bed. You're choosing to go drink the bottle. You're choosing to go, you know what I mean? Put the needle in your arm instead of looking at it in the face and be like, all right, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
And that's crazy you say that, because I every morning before I go to work, I get into my work car and I go on TikTok and I type in today's prayer, right? And it's some guy telling me a prayer. Well, you know how your algorithm is on TikTok, how it picks up on your patterns, right? So it picked up this religious quote, and it said, everyone always asks God for certain things. And the minute that God gives it to you, people just back down, because they're like, well, it's hard. It's hard to do this. It's hard to do that. But the guy that said it, he's like, sometimes God will give you what you want, but will make it hard for you so you can learn so you earned it. Because you appreciate it. Because if everyone prays like, hey God, I want $1 million, right? He's gonna hold it there for you. Like, come get it. Yeah. But I'm gonna put you through obstacle courses, right? Yeah. And if you work hard and you succeed, you've earned that $1 million that you asked God. But if you tell God, hey, I want $1 million, and they give it to you tomorrow, it's gone. You're going to be praying. There's no appreciation for everything, and you're not going to appreciate what God gave you. So sometimes before it gets better, you have to go through the worst.
So that's one thing I've learned, bro. Is anytime my life falls apart, it's not necessarily falling apart. I'm surrendering it back, because every time I've surrendered it, He's giving me back tenfold. Whenever I don't hold on to the things, like, well, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to stay here. I got to do this. Like, no. And there was this thing, I go to Sage Rush, and Pastor Todd had one probably about like a month ago, and I never cried in church. That was the first time I ever cried in church. But he talked about, he said, you know why the reason why your prayers aren't answered? You know why your prayers just feel like they're bouncing off the wall? He said, because you live in turmoil. You live with resentment. You live with anger. You're not giving it over to him. He said, whatever person has ever done you wrong, you can't live with that animosity. And as much as I thought I forgave my mom, hearing that in that moment, I cried, bro, because I knew I haven't forgiven my mom.
And you still had that resentment, that hate.
I just learned, I just understood her perspective a little bit better. That's all it was. I justified, like, I mean, my mom's still a grown person. You know what I mean? Like, she still made her own decisions. But I understand what were the options that she had behind those decisions. They weren't very good. You know what I mean? So that bro, that right there hit me. And it's actually been, it's been on my mind actually lately to reach out to my mom. And not necessarily to rekindle and to build a relationship, but more so, I want to understand her a little bit more. I think if I understand her a little bit more, she understands me a little bit more. I think it might, I'll be able to let go.
And you know what? That's actually a very big step. A lot of people wouldn't take that step, but it might be a good idea, right? Because it'd be something that, you know what? I tried. You know, this is my last time. And like me, like a lot of people have burned me. A lot of people have hurt me. A lot of people have screwed me over. And I'm the first one to say that I'll hold grudges. Like, I hold grudges, even though I say I forgive you. Like, do I really forgive you? No, I don't. No. So I went to church and I told God, like, you know what? I'm literally gonna forgive everyone. Like, I'm gonna forgive everyone who's ever done me dirty. And it's weird because once I said that, everyone started coming back. Like, and I wasn't calling these people. I wasn't reaching out. Yeah. I would just run into them.
Start to cross paths.
They like me on Instagram or Facebook. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why? Or like people just start coming back, reaching out to me. I'm like, this, or I run into them.
It's one of those tests.
I'm like, it's crazy. But it's crazy because I also saw a religious video that says, just because I forgive you doesn't mean I have to give you access to my life.
100%. You know,
and I will tell you this, ever since I've forgiven everyone who's done me dirty, I feel so much better.
100%.
I feel so much better. And like, if I were to see this person like 6 months ago pulled over on the side of the road, I would not help them. I would have just flipped them the bird and took off. Like, that's what you get, bro.
Yeah.
Now, I'll pull over and I'll help you out.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to invite you to lunch.
No. So there was this interview I watched with Kevin Gates, right? Kevin Gates said, you know how you treat disloyalty? You know the best way to teach someone how to respect you and your boundaries? With my absence. He said, I forgive you. It's okay. But that don't mean you have to have access to me. That don't mean we got to be buddies. You know what I mean? And so for me, that was kind of like one of those ones. Like, and I'm a very like, I don't like confrontation. I never liked confrontation as a kid. Like I'm very like, I'll keep the peace. Like I'll
as much as you can.
I'll just shut up. You know what I mean? All right, yeah. You know, but because I also know me, like if we get into an argument, I'm probably not going to talk to you for a really long time. And it could be like, honestly, it could probably be some petty stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm cool. You know what I mean? But again, that's no way to live. You know what I mean? Like, because 9 times out of 10, growing up, you always thought that confrontation was a bad thing, but it's really not. It's really just a good conversation that you guys just don't see eye to eye. That doesn't mean that you're wrong. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. We just have different points. Now, if it gets disrespectful and you know what I mean? Like that's
different story.
That's a way different story.
I hate that you said that though, because that's how I am. Like let's say you and I, right? We're arguing about something. I'm like, you know what, bro? I don't want to hear it later. Like that's who I am. I'll just shut down. You know what? I'm not going to give you my energy. Yeah. I don't want to argue with you. I'm not going to give you that satisfaction of you putting me down.
Yeah, no. And that's different because that's disrespectful.
But like, that's kind of like, I never want to get there. So that's the reason why, like, as soon as we start arguing, I'm like, I'm done. All right. And I'll walk away because I'd rather just end it there. Yeah. And even with my wife and I, we're like we never fight, but we'll bicker here and there. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to argue, and I'll walk away.
I want to go. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not the right way to do it because I feel like us as human beings, we have to be able to delegate, stand up for what we believe, communicate, and figure out why we feel that certain way. And I feel like a lot of people have kind of run away from that.
Well,
right?
here's
like it's easy, but you know what? Yeah. I don't like you, Josh. Unfollow.
Yeah. Well, that's the culture we live in today.
I know,
though.
It's crazy.
It's crazy because if like there's been people, bro, like even like I don't mean to get into politics, but like I've listened to both sides, right? And I'm like, okay, well, you have a good point. You have a good point. You know what I mean? Like I'm very open to listen.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, well, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But there's some points where I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from there. Now, if we didn't have this conversation, I probably would have been like, yeah, you're a dumbass. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, that could go from religion. Like I've talked to people that, you know, practice different religions. I've talked to people that've been like, no, that's your mom. You still need to love her. You still need to talk to her. You know what I mean? Like she birthed you. And so, you know what I mean? Like it's just different perspectives, but I've learned to be open because I don't know all the answers.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm a very open person, right? Like, I believe when I believe it, okay? However, I always listen to people's opinions. Like, whether it's religious, like, I love to talk about religion. I love to talk about politics. And not because I'm going to force you to believe what I believe. Yeah, but sometimes the way that you explain something may be totally different than the last 50,000 people that have explained something. And I'm like, oh, you know what?
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I understand why people see it this way. Yeah. But we live in a time where we're like, you like Trump? Oh, you like Kamala Harris? Like, you know what I mean? Like, instead of being like, hey, let me explain to you why.
Yeah. Or hey, why do you like Kamala? Why do you like Trump? Yeah. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Exactly. Oh, well, dang. I didn't know Trump did this, or I didn't know Kamala stood for that. You know what I mean? Like,
when I was in the military, I sat there. I had a soldier that was Satanist. And, you know, people, oh, you're a Satanist. I'm out of here, bro. You know, like. No,
let's talk about it.
I sat there and I talked about it because I'm a very curious person. I want to know why you think the way that you think. Yeah. Like, you know, like, take me down this path. Let me see your vision.
Put me in your skin. Yeah. Let's figure this out.
And, bro, like, I've noticed that he was such a good dude. And that's why I still, to this day, I don't believe that religion or your faith makes
No.
a person. Like, because sometimes there's a lot of great religious people that make really bad choices, and people who are not religious that make really good choices. So like, that's why, like, I don't care what religion you're from, what party you belong to.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, at the end of the day, I see Josh. You know, I see you. Like, talk to me. Like, I want to know about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, imagine if I hated everyone that wore the color red. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of how we live in now. It's like a lot of people are like they push away the different.
Pick a side.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, they make you
there's no in the middle. You know what I mean? And so I think, I mean, that's just kind of, that's really where, like, I don't know, man, like, I just learned to be a student at everything. And I'm especially now, like, I'm in the point in my life, I'm entering my 7th year in counseling, and I've had some bad counselors. I've had some really good counselors. I've been blessed to have 3 really good counselors. The one that I'm with now, she talks about the true self and understanding who you are. So right now I just turned 34 this week, and
happy birthday, bro.
Thank you. And I'm barely understanding who Josh the person is, right? Like, the living person. I'm understanding my wants and my needs. I'm understanding that I can't seek for other people. I can't seek out other people to fulfill me. The fulfillment starts within. The moment you start to look for other people to fulfill you, that's the moment whenever you're searching for validation. And church today was a really, really, really big thing, where he said the reason why the man works all the time, it's not because he has all these bills. It's not because, you know what I mean, all this and that. He's searching for the hurrahs. He's searching for the promotion. He's searching for the satisfaction of providing. And for me, that was a big step for me. I had to sit back and, you know what I mean? Like, I had to understand. I've always felt like I had to, actually, I wrote it. Let me get on my phone. I usually don't do this, but I wrote it down today.
Hear about it.
ChatGPT, bro. I'd be emotional, unintelligent, bro. It just tells me the way it is. I pursued a life to make everyone around me happy, or to make everyone around me happy, just so that I could feel loved, just like I could feel loved for my whole life. Now I sit here unhappy and empty, because now I understand I don't need no one else's validation.
You need your own.
I need my own. And we talk about being worthy, right? Feeling self-worthy. We talk about that. If I was so unworthy of anything in life, if I didn't deserve the life I have, if I didn't deserve the kids, if I didn't deserve the house, if I didn't, you know what I mean? If I wasn't worthy of it, he wouldn't have provided it for me. He shows you you're worthy every day.
That's crazy you say that, because today we kind of had a similar message today.
Yeah.
I feel like, and like, so I'm not trying to get like into religion here, but I feel like a lot of people want to go to church, want to make a change, want something bigger than themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are always like, you know what? I want to go to church. I want to worship God. I want to put him first, but I'm not ready. I still cuss. I still drink.
It's scary, though.
I still have an addiction.
Yeah.
I'm still unfaithful.
I have to be perfect. So people think in order for you to be religious, you have to be perfect. You don't. Like,
no.
If you look at who Jesus hung out with, he didn't hang out with the perfect people.
No.
He hung out with the tax collectors.
That's kind of what he said today. Like, he hung out with thieves and everything, right?
Yeah.
But like, God wants you to come as who you are.
Yeah. He's
like, come to me as who you are. He's like, and I will change into the person that you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to remember. It's like it's right now is the right time. Tomorrow is the right time.
There's never no perfect time.
Yeah,
bro.
It's whenever you're ready. Just take that leap of faith and just be willing to accept and be willing to change gradually. I'm not saying that overnight, like, God's going to take away all your problems and God's going to get rid of all the toxic people in your life. That's going to come with time. And I think a lot of people, that's kind of how they panic and they're scared of like making that commitment.
There was another one, bro, that you know Michael Beasley is?
Mm-hmm.
So I just watched his podcast with Shannon Sharp.
Okay.
Michael Beasley, him and I connect on a very deep level. Like, the way he talks about being unworthy. Like Shannon Sharp asked him, what does that little boy need to be heard? What does that little like? And I've never heard that. Or like I've never heard someone talk about
read
that.
The book.
Yeah. Well, and Michael Beasley said, I just need people to stop telling me who they think I am and who they want me to be, and just let me be me. Let me try to figure out who I am instead of judging me for who I'm not. And so he kind of made something, and I landed up kind of putting my own spin on it. And the question is, if tomorrow had a price, did you pay enough today? Did you do enough today to make it till tomorrow? If tomorrow wasn't granted, right? You had to go through this, or you had to earn tomorrow. How many people do you think would really earn tomorrow?
But if they knew that tomorrow was the last day,
yeah, they'd bust their ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the perspective in life. Like, why not do it today? Because tomorrow's not promised. Yesterday is already forgotten. Yeah. The only thing you have is this moment right now. You know what I mean? And it's life's always going to have its up and downs. But there was that one, I'm not sure if you remember, it was that Gatorade commercial with Dwayne Wade. He said, I fall down 9 times, I get up 10. And it was just the fact of him going to the hole every time, falling down, but he always got back up. And as a kid, that stuck with me. Like that's a resilience. Like,
but I feel like a lot of people like think just because they start following God that all the problems are going to go away.
No, it gets harder.
It gets harder, right? Which is crazy. Like, why would you want your life to be harder? But the thing is that people have to understand is life will get harder, but you're going to have someone bigger helping you out. Mm-hmm. That'll make it worth it.
I think so. For me, in life, I've always lived like everyone sees what I've done now, right? And everyone sees, oh my God, like you have it all together. You figured it out. You work so hard. You have X, Y, and Z. 1, 2, 3, and they're like, you must be so confident. And I'm like, no, I live life in fear every day. The reason why I work and the reason why I bust my ass is because I'm scared. I don't work because I'm confident. I don't work because, you know what I mean? Like, I work because I'm scared. I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to let my kids down. I'm scared to do something wrong. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's a terrible way to live. And
but also what you're doing is you're breaking generational curses.
Exactly. So now as I'm going to counseling, I'm able to sit down and talk with someone that knows these patterns, right? And I'm like, well, why do I live in fear? Like, and she was, what do you mean? I had to tell her, like, I'm scared. Like I'm scared to fail. She said, well, one, fear is always going to be the number one drive, right? She goes, but that's because you lived in survival for so long. You didn't have a chance to actually live life. Now you're becoming into yourself. And so now it goes from, well, what if I don't work today, or what if I don't work today, what's going to come tomorrow? And I used to live like that all the time, right? That's why I worked so hard. I remember one time I was sitting there on my computer. I was slow, work was slow. And I was stressing, bro. And then, I don't know, it just came to me. And I'm like, what am I stressing for? Like, he knows what I need. He knows what to give me. What am I stressing for? Let me leave it to him. I've never done that ever in my life. And I kid you not, 10 minutes later, my phone rings. Hey, this is such and such with this business. I need shirts. I need hats. I need X, Y, and Z. All right, cool. Then put you together. $3,500 bill. Paid it right then. Boom. Bro, I looked up. I just said, man, what am I stressing for? What are you stressing for? So from that moment, I stopped living in what ifs. It's even if. What if is a fear? Even if. That's faith. Even if I lose everything today. Even if, you know what I mean? Everything's ripped from me today. I know I'll be all right.
It's kind of like when Jesus walked on water, right?
Yeah.
He asked Peter to get off the boat. Peter got off the boat, right? Peter saw Jesus walking on water. And then what happened to Peter? He started walking on water. Mm-hmm. And then what did he do? He turned around because he saw the waves. He heard the thunder, saw the lightning, As soon as he turned away, he started drowning.
Yeah.
Jesus went in there and grabbed him by the arm and picked him up.
Stop looking back.
Stop looking back. But that's what I'm saying is like a lot of us, we have it right here.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, like
Bro.
Peter,
Yeah.
we start looking at the bad when all we should focus is on the
Well,
good.
because the trauma is so much more eye appeasing to you than, you know what I mean? Like, because again, it's the fear. Like, there's a reason why the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. Stop looking in the damn rearview mirror.
That's crazy. I never heard that before.
And
That's
pay
good.
attention to what's in front of you. You know what I mean? Because you keep looking back, you're gonna wreck. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's just what life is, bro. Like, I've lost it all. Like, I've lived in Section 8 apartments at the age of 28. I moved out, got evicted by my auntie, bro. My auntie evicted me for no reason. False eviction. I had to go live with my grandma. Turned 30 years old at my grandma's house with 5 kids. And I remember sitting there, bro, and I was like, this is not what I envisioned to be 30. Like, this is not how I envisioned to be 30. 30 years old, I'm living in my grandma's house. What? You know what I mean? Pick yourself up. All right. I always give myself a week to feel sorry for myself. All right. What are we going to do? We're going to sit here and cry?
For a week.
For a week, yeah.
So,
But, you know what I mean? After that week, like, all right, what do we got to do? How do we got to shake things around? You know what I mean? And every time I've done that, you know what I mean? It just comes together. I don't know how. Like, there's a lot of things I don't know how life has happened, you know? But I don't know, like, I was never really close with God then, ever. Because
how long have you been on the spiritual faith? On your spiritual journey?
it'll be 2 year. No, 1 year this year. Actually, yeah, it just turned a year. I think something like that. And I'll admit it. I was mad at God for a really long time. I was, bro. I hated him. I felt like I just felt like, why me? Like, why give me the fucked up, you know what I mean, childhood? Like, why put me through that? Why did I see half the shit I saw? You know what I mean? Like, why? Like,
I was just a kid.
Yeah, like, I didn't deserve none of that. You know what I mean? I didn't deserve to see this. I didn't deserve to have all the trauma. Like, I didn't deserve it. Like, what did I do? Like, what did I do in my past life? You know what I mean? And then as I got older, my trauma wasn't so bad. But as I started to have kids, that's when it became bad, because I understood how easy it was to be a parent, how easy it was just to be present.
And you're like, my mom couldn't even do that.
And I'm like, bro, you couldn't even show up. You couldn't even, you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't just even be there to hold me. You know what I mean? And so that's, bro, like, they say your children, you will, every year, like, your children's in, your trauma will come back up, because you're seeing your kid's life, and you start to understand, like, dang, my life was so much different. So it's almost like just coming back in and flooding you. You know what I mean? And again, bro, like, I felt like the world owed me something big time. Like, I had a fucked up childhood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to give me a break somehow. But as I sat back up to, well, yeah, I was 32 years old whenever, so almost 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. And I had to sit back and I had to understand how many blessings that I blocked because I had a piss poor attitude. Because I felt like God owed me something. Whenever there was probably many opportunities he gave me.
You just feel entitled.
I felt entitled. I felt like the right, which, I mean, I think any person would feel that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially after what you went through. I mean, it's sick. That's crazy. I mean, like me, like, you know, like, my life's not perfect, and it drives me nuts, man, because a lot of people, and I've heard it, people have told me, like, dang, you guys are so busy. Dang, you guys are always busy with your kids doing competitions and tournaments and traveling and doing this and that. They're like, why do you guys invest so much in your kids, bro? Like, that upsets me.
Mm-hmm.
That upsets me. I'm like, well, first of all, it's my money.
Second of all, watching my pockets.
Second of all, they're my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And third of all, I want to be able to provide them everything that I didn't have as a kid, right? Because my mom, she worked. My dad worked. I never had anyone there for me. I never had someone to give me the talk, the birds and the bees. No one gave me that talk. I figured it myself. No one gave me the how to take care of myself. No one gave me how to shave. No one taught me anything, bro. How to do an oil change. How to talk to a girl. How to ask for a number.
How many,
bro?
Has anyone ever asked you if you're okay?
No.
It's crazy, huh?
It's wild.
You really sit back and really think about it. No one's really asked me.
Why? I saw that shirt that says "I'm okay" and in the middle it says "broken." Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm. So, and you know what most men say whenever they say, "Hey,
I'm good.
I'm good."
I'm good.
Nah, give me a better answer than I'm good. Because I'm good can mean a lot of things. Like that dude from Pawn Stars. You see him?
Was it Chumley?
No, not Pawn Stars. Storage Wars. He was like that big white dude.
Oh, he died. Yeah.
Yeah. He. So there was a picture he took 2 hours before he took his life. He was happy, bro. Hanging out, chilling, partying. I'm good is terrible, bro. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like but us as men, like that's what we're taught, right? Like, and whenever I got into counseling, bro, my dad was like, "What are you going to counseling for?" Even to this day, my dad asked me, "What do you go see a therapist for? Why can't you talk to me?" I'm like, bro, you don't got the answers. Like, I'm sorry, but you don't got the answers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you never sought out those answers. You never tried to. You know what I mean?
And that's just scary, bro. To think that, that someone may or may not have the answers. That's just faith right there, huh?
It is, bro. It's faith. It's faith, bro. And then just to like, to also be vulnerable enough to understand that someone else does probably have some sort of an answer or a method or an idea that works with you. And that's why I tell people all the time, bro, like, just because you got 2 bad counselors off the rip, like, don't, like, think of it as speed dating. Like
don't just quit now.
I've gone through 9.
9?
I've gone through 9 counselors in 7 years. I've been like, yep, nope, you ain't for me. I'll see you later. Turns out into the insurance. You know what I mean? But it's
and
what do you do?
And that's so scary, bro, because like just to trust someone that's going to be there for you that you don't even know, like, is this even the right thing to do? Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I listening to the right person? Like, are they just saying this because they're trying to milk my account, or do they really do they really care? And that's the scary part.
That is the scary part for sure, especially opening up. You know what I mean? Like to open up to someone and be like, "Yep, this is what I've been through." Like, I mean, there's plenty of things that people don't even know. Like, bro, my dad didn't even know what I went through as a kid until probably.
What was your dad around this time like?
He was. My dad was there. My dad raised me.
But he just didn't want to see it? Or what?
No, I didn't tell my dad what was going on. Because
imagine if your dad would have sat you down and be like, "Mijo, Josh, what's really going on in you? Like, what's going on?"
Oh yeah, no. So
life would have been crazy.
My dad was in the hospital. Back in the hospital in January. He got diagnosed with congestive heart failure, and so we're sitting there talking. And me and my dad never really had like a heart-to-heart talk. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, he was sitting in a hospital bed, and he asked me about my mom, and he despises my mom for sure, just because.
Still?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just because the way it played out, and he asked me. He said, "Well, what was so hard about your life that you have to go to counseling for?" And I told him, "Dad, there's some things you'll never understand." He said, "Well, help me understand it." And I said, "Well, it's hard because you had a mother who loves. You have a mother who pours into you. You have a mother that, you know what I mean? Like, she lifts you up.
She cared about you."
Yeah. I said, "I'm sure as a kid, all you ever wanted was your mother." He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Imagine not having that." And he said, yeah, but you had me." I said, "Yeah, I did. And you did an amazing job with me. You took me in at 2 years old. You know what I mean? You did everything you could. Like, it's not about, like, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't do nothing wrong." He said, "Well, yeah, but you had your stepmom." I said, "Yeah, but it's still not the same. Like, I didn't come from that woman. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't share that neurological connection with that woman. Like, even though she loved me, like, you know what I mean? Like, she
Like if you were her own.
mm-hmm. And so that's what, like, my oldest is not mine biologically. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that my oldest son isn't mine, but I've raised him since he was 3 years old. And I treat him like he's my own. No one, like, again, probably everyone's like, you know what I mean?
Whoa.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's because I had such a good stepmom. I learned how to be
that dad for him.
And not make him feel like he's a stepchild. You know what I mean? Like, and me and my stepmom had this conversation before. Like, I told her, thank you. I thank you because it's hard. Like, I've gone through things with him and I'm like, I don't know how you did it. Bro, my mom used to take me to go see my mom in rehab. Go take me to go see my mom here. Go take me to see my mom there. I don't know if I could do that for him. My ego's way too big. You know what I mean? Like, if
Is she still around?
my stepmom?
Yeah.
Yeah. We still talk here and there. You know what I mean? Like, and it's nothing like bad. Like, we both live a life, you know what I mean? But whenever we do have a conversation, we have, you know, some deep conversations, and there's been times where, you know, I'm super grateful for it.
I'm a very big believer that God makes us go through certain things to get us ready for our kids.
Mhm.
So like, I all the hell that I went through, like growing up and through my divorce, I feel like it's prepared me with the answers to the questions that my kids may have someday. You know, so sometimes, like, I understand that us as human beings, we're like, we blame God or we blame someone else, or we're like, oh, why is this happening to me? I'm a good person, or yada yada yada, right?
Mhm.
But we have to try to be optimistic and be like, you know what? I'm learning all these lessons.
You know, my life
one day I
changed.
can help my kids.
My life changed whenever I stopped saying why me and why not me. Why not me? And that was from any battle. That was from anything that was good in my life. Why not me?
Yeah.
And you know, I do you know what a Reiki is?
No, what's that?
It's like an energy and like a spiritual, like your throat chakra, all that stuff.
Okay.
So I went and did a Reiki reading probably about 2 weeks ago, and it was intense for sure. But long story short, the lady, again, they're like, she don't know nothing about you, no, bro. Like, you don't fill out no paperwork, no nothing. She flat out told me like this. She said, "You hold a lot of resentment for your mom, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I could feel it in your energy in your like pelvic floor, and that's like your most like that's where you hold like the most sacred energy." She was like, "You need to get rid of him, or you need to get rid of that." She said, You need to hug that little boy. You need to love him. You need to teach him that it's okay." And she said, "You have 4 kids, right?" And I looked at her and I said,
How do you know?
"Yeah." So I was like, "What?" And she said, "There's a reason why God gave you 4 kids." And I said, "Well, why?" She said, "It's to give you all the love you never had as a child. They were brought here for you. You weren't brought, like, you didn't bring them into this life. They were here for you." My wife, she had my 3 daughters on 3 different birth controls. Like, there's a reason, you know what I mean?
And you know, that's funny you say that. So my wife only has 1 ovary, and you know, she wasn't supposed to have kids at all. We have 4.
It's crazy.
And I feel like people always say like, "Oh, you have a favorite." I don't have a favorite. I just love each kid a different way because they touch my heart and my soul a different way, the way that I needed it. You know, like none of my kids are identical. They may all look alike, but
no.
The way they love me is different. You know, like my daughter, like she gives me tough love, and I need that. And my other kids are just different. You know, and
that's what they tell me all the time.
That's about how you said that
about my youngest son. Bro, he's me. Like,
you know what's funny you say about the little boy inside you? My youngest is the little boy inside me.
Yeah.
He's my reincarnation.
Bro, my youngest is me, bro. He's me to the T. 100%, bro. I look at him and they tell me, "Xavier's your favorite." And I'm like, "No, like, I don't have a favorite." I said, "But I guess is there someone that I favor a little bit more? 100%. But
and I don't
like,
think it's maybe that you
my
just
oldest
understand
sister, I mean, my oldest daughter, I had this conversation with her because she asked me, she's like, you just love him way more, like you're connected to him way more. I said, yeah, but when I look at that boy, I see me. I see I was a kid that everyone talked about that I used to be before I understood what my life really was. And I was like, and just to see him smile, to see him laugh, to see him be safe, like it heals that little boy inside of me. You know what I mean? Because like my son's a Yaron, bro. He cries and he cries for everything. And I got on his ass the other day and I was like, bro, quit crying. Like, be a man, grab your balls, bro. Like you're gonna be 8 years old. Like it's time for you to grow up. Yeah, quit being a little crybaby. And bro, like I was on his head. And my wife, once he left, she said, you need to stop being so mean to him. And I was like, no, like you know what I mean? Like, no, he needs to grow up. She said, you're just as sensitive, Josh. She said, but the difference between you and him is he's allowed to feel his feelings and you weren't. She said, your feelings come in the form of anger. Your feelings come in the form of shutting down. He's been allowed to feel his feelings. He's been allowed to understand what he's going through. He's allowed to cry. He's allowed to say, hey, this doesn't sit right with me. And I probably looked at her and I was like,
you're right.
I hate you.
Yeah, and she was right.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you know what?
right,
I completely agree. So my
right.
oldest boy, he's 7. He's going to be turning 8 here soon. And he's a Yoron, bro. He cries a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He cries about everything. And I have to understand that
the girls are picking on me.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have the skills right now. He doesn't have the way to express his feelings on why he cries. So I feel like sometimes he cries because that's the only way he can express himself, right?
Do you tell your kids quit crying or give you a reason to cry?
Yeah, like quit crying.
No,
I'm gonna make you cry.
Oh, okay.
Like quit crying, I'm gonna make you cry.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, I don't hit my kids. I mean, I'll flick them, I'll pinch them here and there, but I don't like beat them. You know, like I don't hit them with the belt. I mean, I was beat as a kid, and you know, like it's kind of like you. Yeah, me too, bro. So it's kind of like you said, like trying to break that generational curse.
Grab a branch.
So check this out. Let me tell you a funny story in this one. So not a lot of people know this one. I was in 2nd grade, Miss Battle. No, Miss Machuca. That was my teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Cool lady. I still remember what she looked like and everything. I got in trouble in school. So in school, they used to give you a green card, a yellow card,
red card. Yeah, I remember that.
I was always on either red.
You used to have to go turn it.
Yeah, I was either on red or yellows. Once in a while, I was on green. So I was a bad boy. So my mom would never really say anything.
Were you a bad boy, or were you just searching for attention?
I think I was searching for attention because, like I said, I didn't have my dad was always working. You know,
100% you were.
So
that was the only way you knew how to get attention was to get in trouble.
Yeah, I think so too. So I remember
that's crazy.
I remember I got in trouble. They gave me a red face, and the teacher's like, "Your dad needs to sign this, and your mom." So, and normally I would go home and flush in the toilet. That's what I would do. So yeah. So my dad got home, and he saw it, and he didn't ask me any questions. My dad doesn't know how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad went, grabbed the belt, and beat the brakes off me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom, he was hitting me so much that my mom got in between us and he actually hit my mom on accident. My dad never abused my mom.
Yeah.
But, well, not that I saw. But
she got
some too, you know? She got some
friendly fire.
Yeah, she got some friendly fire for sure. So I remember my dad beat the brakes off me and it was pretty bad. Like he used to have one of those Mexican belts where like had a horse and boots.
Oh, yeah.
I had the imprint on my ass.
Horse imprint on your ass.
So the next day I go to school and Miss Machuca's like, did you get that signed? I'm like, yeah. And I told her,
it's right here.
But I told her, but because of you, I paid the price. And she's like, what do you mean? I went to private school, okay?
Yeah.
So I went up to the front of the class, which I don't know why I did that, but I pulled my pants down. And I showed her all the bruising, all the welts that my dad gave me because of her. And I think I wanted to make her feel bad for ratting me out or for making me put in that situation, right? So they took me to the principal's office and they called whatever California's CYFD program is called. And they showed up to the house after school. And they talked to my dad. And, you know, back then, I mean, it wasn't kind of like how it is now. But they talked to my dad. My dad apologized. And he essentially said that, hey, I took it overboard. I shouldn't have done that, right? So that happened. They left, and my dad beat the brakes off of me again for being a snitch. Like,
Yeah.
but that was the only way he knew, bro.
Yeah, no.
Like my grandfather was terrible.
But that's the generational curse, bro. Like that if I've learned anything about my trauma and the reason why I've been able to forgive my mom somewhat is because I understand my mom did the best she knew how.
And you know what? I agree with you. Because I think as a parent, right, like you only do what you know.
Yeah.
Right?
So I tell my kid all the time, there's no owner's manual with this shit, bro.
Yeah,
like I'm learning
my
on
father-in-law is a very big believer in that.
I'm learning on the fly. Like, especially my 17-year-old, like I'm learning on the fly, bro. Like you're the first one.
You know what? And you're right, because people always ask me like that just have kids, like, hey, I'm gonna have a kid. Like, how do I do it? And I always tell them, hey man, not every kid's the same.
No.
Not every kid's gonna be awake in the middle of the night. Some kids just sleep through the night. You know, some kids are different. You know, and like you said, and my father-in-law says, a kid doesn't come with an owner's manual. Like the kid's not born, and the doctor goes, here you go. You know, it doesn't work that way. But I tell them, this is the only advice that I can give you. Be a better parent than your parent was for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell my son all the time, I'm the only man in this world that wants you to outdo me.
100%.
You know? And
I saw that, bro. They said that the moment your dad passes away, it's hard because you have to understand that was the only man in this world that ever wanted you to do better than they did.
And you know, my dad has never told me that, but I'm sure he did.
100%.
You know, I'm sure he felt that way. My dad, like I said, my grandfather used to beat the brakes off him. That was only love.
He taught you the only way he knew how.
And you know, I guess there's still the boy inside of me. I guess is still like upset on my dad, and I still kind of like hold that. That's the reason why him and I don't have a good relationship now. But I feel like, you know, it's one of those things, like it's trauma. You know, it's
but
trauma.
Like the thing about that though too is like back to the, you know, you're in your father's relationship. Like one thing I had to understand, bro, is it takes two to want that relationship.
Yeah. Because
the last conversation I ever had with my mom, she came and dropped some fireworks off at my apartment when we're living in Section 8 apartments, and I was deep in my healing. Like I was deep in my healing, and I started to kind of understand. And she came ding dong ditch, bro, threw him there and took off. And I was like, hey, like no, like come here. Like, yeah, no,
just come here.
Let me talk to you. So she pulls over, she gets out, and her husband gets out. And I was like, no, you get in the fucking car. You fucking sitting there. I can't stand him to save my life. Like now, I used to blame him for my mom's addiction. I also understand that it takes two. You know what I mean? She also agreed and she also indulged. You know what I mean? So I've learned to forgive that part of him. But yeah, I was like, no, bro, like you stay in the car. And I remember, bro, like putting my arms on my mom, like not like aggressive, but like I put like, cause I wanted my mom to like look at me in my eyes. And I told her, I just want to let you know, I forgive you. She said, for what?
For what?
Yeah. But that was the answer I wanted to hear. Or that was the rebuttal I expected, and that's what I wanted. And I told her, I forgive you for not being there. I forgive you for the trauma. I forgive you for not loving me the way that I needed to be loved. Like, I listed off probably about 6 things, bro. Like, straight from the fucking heart. And she said, I'm sorry too. I said, what are you sorry for? And she just said, I don't know. I'm just sorry.
So do you think she was just saying it just to say it?
100%. And so in that moment, that was my other validation, that my mom wasn't ready to have that relationship. She wasn't ready to take this relationship to the next stage.
How old were you at this time?
I was 27. Yeah. And I remember looking at her and telling her, I love you and I forgive you. And it kind of went crazy after that. I was wearing a No Love Lost shirt. And she was like, in this loyalty over love bullshit, she was like, you know, that's some fucking bullshit. You don't know nothing about loyalty. Bro, I'll tell you, you want a crazy story, bro? We're eating at IHOP one time. Me and my mom, her husband, my wife, and then 2 of my kids. They were babies, bro. And his ex-wife walks in with her boyfriend, bro. They get into a big confrontation. We're fighting, or they're fighting in the middle of IHOP right there on Gibson, before COVID. And I mean, bro, like in the middle of IHOP, bro. And I remember breaking it up, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was, bro, when I tell you chaos, like, break it up. They got in a fight outside. Finally, I was like, all right, bro, like, everyone chill the fuck out. It landed up getting there. I landed up getting into the fight. And then it was just like, but so for me, when my mom told me that I have no loyalty, that because again, I remember snapping, bro, my kids are sitting there crying, hiding under tables, bro. And I'm like, but you're going to tell me I have no loyalty, right? Like, so it bothered me. It landed up blowing up. Fast forward 2021, 2022, I get a phone call. They say, hey, your mom's in the hospital. She has 2 weeks to live. Her organs are shutting down. They said she's probably not going to make it. She's in a coma. You need to come see your mom. And as a kid, I always wondered what I would do whenever my mom passed away. Would I be mad? Would I be angry? Would I be sad? You know what I mean? Like all those, like all the time, bro. It was weird. And I remember just sitting there and my wife's like, what's wrong? I was like, my mom's in the hospital. She's not doing good. She said, are you going to go? Biggest decision I ever, I felt like that was the biggest decision I ever made in my life. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to go. She said, why not? You can't, you can't hold on to whatever you and your mom got going on. Like, this is her last moments. You got to be there. I said, yeah, but that's not me. I'm not a fake. Like, what am I going to do? Go sit there and cry? You know what I mean? Like, and she said, well, you don't want to live with that. I said, no, I'm okay. Because the last thing I ever told my mom was I love her and I forgive her. That was the last conversation her and I ever had. My dad even told me the same thing. He said, you need to go see your mom, son. You don't need to go live with that resentment. But I told him, no, like, I got to tell my mom, I love her. I forgive her. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, that was enough. Speaking and you know what I mean? Like, I remember sitting there and I was like, all right, like, where am I going to sit if she does die? Am I going to sit in the front? Or am I going to sit way in the back and just kind of be tucked off? Now, I also was like, you know, they're like, any of the family want to come up and speak? You know what I mean? There was, I had a whole speech in my head, straight from the head. And I wanted people to understand that me and my mom are the same person. Both have big hearts. We both love big. Like, my mom is me. She just don't know how to be herself. And that's probably the hardest thing. Because she is a good person. Like, my mom, bro, she will give you the last of her last, no matter what. You know what I mean? But when she starts to, you know, use and she starts to drink, like, she be like, all that anger comes out, bro. And it sucks, you know what I mean? And I just wanted people to understand who my mom was and not understand her like as she is in, you know what I mean, in her addiction. Like, I know who my mom is. I know the amazing woman she can be. Actually, I shared this with my sisters the other day. Me and my sisters barely started talking a while back. Let me see. And basically, in that moment, as a kid, did you ever wonder what if you died? How many people show up? Do you know what the meaning behind that is?
What is it?
The meaning behind that is you want to feel loved. You want to feel cherished. You weren't felt like loved and cherished as a kid. That's where that wound comes from. I used to sit there and wonder, be like, bro, if I get into this big car accident, who's gonna go to the hospital? Am I gonna have flowers? Am I gonna have cards? Am I like, this is a crazy way to think, right? Like,
yeah, it's weird to think that way, to see like who's all gonna be there, like who really had my back,
mm-hmm.
who really was there for me.
What family members are gonna show up? What friends are gonna show up? So there's this thing that I saw on Instagram. I sent it to my little sisters. In another world, my mother does not become a mother. She doesn't meet my dad, or at least never falls in love with him. Instead, she goes and attends college out of state, pursues all of her dreams, travels the world in her free time, taking photos in France and trying new foods in Tokyo. Maybe even adopts a dog, a 4-year-old golden retriever who sees the world with her, and she never has to wonder about what ifs in life. because she's too busy living it to every second guess her life choices and wonders what she's missing. In another world, I do not exist, but my mother gets to live, not just survive. And that, bro, like that hit me, bro. Like to understand someone else's trauma and to understand, you know what I mean? Like just what some, like, you don't know what everyone's been through. Like, I don't know what you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you've been through. Like, I don't know, like, the person that's sitting on the corner, you know what I mean? And I think it comes back full circle. It's a test to be a good person, everyone. Because you don't know what they're going through or what they've gone through. You can't judge a book by their cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dang, bro. That's deep, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And that's the reason why I created this podcast, right? The Kartel Talk, is because I want real people, real guests, real stories.
Yeah.
Real problems that we all face that some of us don't even want to talk about. It's uncomfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like every guest that I've had so far has a different way and a different pattern, different journey that they went through and different advice.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care how many views I get, how many likes.
No.
If I get 10 views on one video, but it changes and your story is there to fulfill that person's need, bro, that's all I care about.
The Chosen to Change podcast, bro, like that was our goal behind it, was just to change one person's mindset, to hear stories that we needed to hear whenever we were down and we were broken. And bro, the pour and the outreach we got, grown men calling, crying, bro, you know what I mean? Like, people on the podcast. I tried to kill myself, but the gun didn't go off. I put one in the chamber, made sure I saw one in there, pulled the trigger, nothing came out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's I mean, that's the beauty of it, though, is it's always hard to see the sunshine after this. You know what I mean? Whenever you're fucking sitting in the storm, it's hard. But if you're sitting there, bro, and you're going through the storm, it's nice to hear that someone else has been through it too. And they, you know what I mean?
You know what's the only animal that ever like embraced the storm?
What was it?
The buffalo.
Yeah. It runs into the storm.
Buffalo will run into a storm because that's the only way they know.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine just sitting there and waiting for the storm to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to feel like it's forever. But if you run to it, if you run to the chaos, that storm's going to pass you a lot faster than you sitting down on your ass.
And see, I think, I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm a buffalo because my life's been chaos, bro. But it's almost crazy to me because as the work I've done, this sounds crazy, bro, but I'm still scared to be happy. I'm scared to be happy, bro. I'm scared.
Why do you think that is?
I'm scared to live within peace.
Why?
It's unfamiliar. I don't know what it's like.
It's just out of the ordinary.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's completely left field for me.
You know what? And I kind of feel that way too now because I've never told this to my wife either, but she's gonna be pissed. She's gonna be pissed I'm talking about it here, and I never told her. But my entire life, I always wanted validation from my mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm older, now that I'm wiser now, and we have kids, and my wife, like, her opinion is the only one that matters to me. And her validation is really what I need,
mm-hmm.
you know? And she helps me to love myself, and she accepts me for who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not perfect. I have my downfalls just like every other man,
mm-hmm.
every other woman. And she, like, literally wants the best for me,
mm-hmm.
you know? And
that's amazing to have. It really is.
You know, like I said, our relationship's not perfect. You know, we have our ups and downs just like everyone else. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but I was unfaithful with her, you know, many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I regret it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that people get pissed off when I say this. Like, and I mean, people like my in-laws, family members, is people always ask me, like, if you could go back and change you being unfaithful with your wife, would you?
No.
The answer is no.
Bro.
And people are like, what? You wouldn't go back and change that? And the answer is no. Do I regret it? 100%. Would I go back and change it? No, because if I went back and changed it, her and I would not have the relationship we have now.
Bro, someone asked me if I would change my childhood. Then in my childhood, 100%. Yo, sign me up. Give me something else. But what if God gave me some kid in South Africa, bro? I didn't, you know what I mean? I'm literally drinking mud water that's left over from, you know what I mean?
With rain.
I'm eating cow shit, like, you know what I mean? Just to have some protein. Like, but now you ask me, like, even though I've been through everything, like, even though shit, I'm still going through shit, like, I wouldn't change it. That's who I am. That's why God put me here. That's why I feel like I am the person in my family that is paving a new way. Like, whenever I started counseling, everyone was against it. What are you going to counseling for? Your life's not that bad. You're not depressed. You smile. You laugh all the time.
Yeah, but they don't see the inside.
They don't. They don't see that the temporary happiness that everyone else gives me. But when I still go lay my head down at night, my mind's fucking racing. I'm still wondering why am I not good enough? Why is this person leaving me? Why is that person? Why wasn't I good enough for that person?
And the part is, bro, is that you're always going to be chasing that void.
Mm-hmm. Until you look at it in the face. You figure it out. The crazy thing is, bro, is all the answers lie within you. The validation you seek from your parents, the validation you seek from your wife, that's all in you. We're just too scared to see it. That's the crazy thing is you want the clap, you know what I mean? You want someone to see you.
You want the attaboys.
Mm-hmm. And bro, it's hard. It sucks. But one thing I've done, bro, is I don't seek to be accepted no more. The hardest thing was for my dad. I thought I had to live my dad a certain way, like live my life a certain way, like, you know what I mean? I thought I had to go get a county job and I had to, you know what I mean? I had to do X, Y, and Z. I had to have a house by the time I was 20. Bro, I was 27 years old, 26 years old, living in a Section 8 apartment. I felt like a failure. Finally, I started living my life for me. And I remember, bro, me and my dad had a conversation. It got ugly. And I told him, you know what? I'm tired of living my fucking life for you. I'm going to start doing the way I want to fucking do it. I'm tired of fucking trying to live up to your expectations. And he looked at me, he said, I never expected nothing out of you, son. I just wanted you to be better than me. And bro, that moment, I was like, dang, I thought completely different. You know what I mean? I thought my life had to be perfect just to make him happy. The moment I stopped seeking his validation, you know what I mean? Everyone else's validation to be liked and to be, you know what I mean? That's whenever I lost a lot of friends. Because I stopped being a yes man. I stopped being a people pleaser. You know what I mean? It was a long time I ran alone. Long time I wasn't by people. You know what I mean? Now, the people I'm around, I think they want better for me than I want for myself.
Yeah. And and you know what? It's funny you say that. So beginning of the year, like I was very mad at God. I turned my back on him, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
And I had my my downfall. And there was one day, it was like right after Christmas. I was just driving in my car and I'm like, I have the brand, it's going well. I have a relationship, it's going really good. My kids are happy.
Healthy.
My job is good. Financially, I'm good. But I still feel empty. I still felt like that piece to the puzzle was missing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one day I said that, I'm like, it's God, right? Mm-hmm. It's God that's missing in my life. So I was like, you know what? My wife's been trying to have me go to church for a long time. And I'm always like, nah, I'm good. It's because I was mad at God.
Mm-hmm.
So the first Saturday of January, I think it was like January 3rd or 4th, we went to church. And it's crazy, bro. Because everything I needed to hear was preached that day.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I asked God was like, hey, like, you know, I hate to say this, but like, take away the people that are in my life.
Oh, bro, he'll take away people you don't even expect.
Take people away from my life that are anchoring me down, that are not helping me fulfill your plan. Because at the end of the day, it's not me; it's what you want, right? So, and I said, but just please do me a favor. If you decide to do that, please be there for me and provide me with friends that are going to get me closer to you. Provide me with friends that'll make me a better person. That for me to be able to help people out, you know, because that's what I want. I want to help people out, you know. And bro, I lost so many friends that I thought were my friends, you know, and that's okay. Like, I'm not mad at them. I forgave them, you know. That's okay. I asked God for that, so He did it.
No love lost,
and no love lost, like you said. And I have good friends now, you know. Like that's why, like, you know, I need to get back on going to walk with you guys, because like it was just good having like-minded people, and like I said, it's cool because they're not religious people. Like, they don't work for the same company. They don't work for one GM. Like, they're people from everywhere.
So the moment I got back into church, I had a conversation that week or week before, and I just told God, I was like, I'm lost. You know I'm lost. Just help me find a way. And I ain't talked to Rob probably about 6-7 months. He called me up. Hey, we're gonna have a meeting over here at Starbucks. You want to come by? Come by. I was like, all right, shit. Fuck it. What else do I have to lose?
What do you got to lose? Yeah.
Landed up going, and bro, I met Jesse. I've known Jaime forever. This was right when they first started. And he looked at me. He said, bro, you look lost. What? Like, usually the old me would have got mad. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Fuck you mean I'm lost. I ain't lost. You know what I mean? Because I was.
You think you know me?
Yeah. But I said, fuck. If he can see it, who else can see it? Who else can see that I'm lost? Who else can see that I'm struggling right now? And he told me, he's like, come to church with me. Yeah. Go to church, whatever. And then it was Jesse. Jesse's the one that pulled me in. He's the one that rolled me in, bro. And I don't know if he could just see my mind racing, but he told me, he was like, bro, you don't have to be perfect to go to church, bro. Go broken. Go as you are. And I promise you. Bro, I was about to lose my house. Literally, I had to come up with I was 3 months behind on my mortgage. I had to come up with it by the end of the month. Bro, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I was lost, bro. Lost financially, spiritually, mentally. You know what I mean? Like, I was beat down. And I landed up, I was like, fuck it. What else do I have to lose? You know what I mean? Like, what else do I have? Landed up, Rob was like, I'll see you at church. And if I say I'm going to go, I'm going to go. Like, he invited me on the walk for a month before I finally was saying. And he was like, are you coming? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you don't say yeah. And I was like, bro, I've never told you yes. I'm telling you fucking yeah. If I say yes, I'll be there. I'll fucking be there. And sure enough, bro, I remember getting out, called my wife, and she's like, oh, how was it? And I was like, good, whatever, you know. And then I was like, we're going to go to church this weekend. And she was like, oh, I've been thinking about going back to St. Jude's. And I was like, nah.
We ain't going there.
We ain't going back there. No. We ain't going back to St. Jude's, St. Joseph's. We ain't going nowhere. And she was like, oh, where are we going? I was like, we're going to go Sagebrush. She was like, yeah, but you hate that kind of church. And I was like, yeah, I do. But I don't know. We're going. So we went, bro, dropped the kids off at, their school, whatever. And the message that weekend was believing in yourself and believing in God. It's okay that you're going through something. Just trust God. And bro, we were literally about to put our house on the market for sale because we were about to lose it. That was the only way that they couldn't take it. And I said, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna double down. And the guy, he was like, bro, what? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, don't be dumb. I was like, nah, God got me. I'll be all right. He's like, yeah, there's a difference between having faith and being foolish. Like, don't be foolish. I was like, if I lose it, I lose it. It's all right. He'll get back to me. And I remember, bro, picking up my kids from up there. I was already sold. Like, from the moment, just the way Todd was talking, like, he broke down the Bible, the way it is, how you live it every day. I was like, okay, like, I can get past the music. I can get past the concert. You know what I mean? Like, I get past all that. because it was the word. It was, you know what I mean? He explains the Bible in
Message.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know what there, thou, and then, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what none of that meant. I remember picking up my kids. My kids are like, Daddy, can we please come back next week? I had so much fun. I was like, I'm sold.
This is home.
This is home. Bro, I think we've missed in the 2 years, I think we missed probably like only 5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just, I got baptized in October. Finally decided to, you know,
Pull the trigger.
pull the trigger. Again, I was definitely going through some things in that moment in time. And I even did it during an altar call. Like, it wasn't even like I didn't sign up. Like, I was just sitting there, bro, and I was just like,
Straight cannonball inside.
let's go. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? And we landed up getting baptized, like, you know, 3 weeks later. It was cool, man. It was a real cool experience. But in those moments, I've asked God to show me a lot. A lot. And I can say he's shown me some things, bro. Some things have came out, and I'm like, whoa, like, I didn't expect that. You know what I mean?
Gotta be careful what you ask for.
Oh, I learned. But I also know it's for the best. You know what I mean? Even if I understand it or if I don't understand it, it's all for the best. You know what I mean? So
That's crazy, bro.
So, and then yeah, bro. I mean, after that, I mean, I just indulged. Like, after I got baptized, well, probably a couple weeks before that, I started walking, and then it just kind of, you start to see the pounds fall, and you're like, all right. And then I hit a plateau. And I was like, bro, what the hell? I'm doing all the right things. All right. Well, how much water are you drinking? Maybe half a gallon a day. No, you need to drink more. That don't even make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to drink more water to lose more weight? Like, that don't even make sense. But I was like, trust me, bro. You know what I mean? Like, just trust me. All right. Start eating better. Start eating, you know, getting meals from Pack Your Max. You know what I mean? Just.
Have you tried Hydro Bar water? Hydro Bar?
Yeah.
Good water.
I know Tim pretty well.
Good dude, bro.
And yeah, man. And I mean, it's just, you ask for people to come in your life, and like I tell Rob all the time, bro, like I didn't think we were gonna be this close. Like I really didn't. But someone that could look like, and we weren't even close then. Like, we were good friends. Like, you know what I mean? I knew him for like 9 years before that. But for someone to look at you, bro, and be like, you're lost. You need God. Bro, like, you know what I mean? That's
it's reality.
That's a real friend, though. You know what I mean? Like, whether I was there to accept it or not, he told me. I could have just picked up my shit and left. You know what I mean? He would have been like,
you don't know me, bro. I'm out of here.
The old Josh, the ego Josh, right, would have been like, bro, screw
Get out
you.
of here.
You think you are? Think you're better than me because you go to church and I don't? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro. We're actually just hit hour and 40 minutes.
Damn, really?
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
But nah, man. I mean, I appreciate you coming by, bro, and I mean sharing your story to everybody. I know your story is very hard to share, and
Yeah, no.
you know, there's it shows not just maturity on your end, but growth.
Yeah.
It shows growth in you. And
I appreciate that.
I really hope that at least one person gets to see this, and
Yeah, definitely.
and it gives them, like, you know, or even if they hit you up. So like, what we'll do is once we air this, I'll put all your information at the bottom, and
Yeah. I mean, collab posts, whatever.
yeah,
I mean,
that way, hopefully, you can someone sees this and they're touched by you and they want to know more, you know, and
yeah. I think real quick, I mean, before we end, one, I just want to say thank you for the platform, for sure. Definitely want to say a message to the people.
Go for it, bro. Whatever you want to say, go for it.
You know, just understand that it doesn't matter where you come from, or doesn't matter what you've gone through. Just know that there's a specific place for you, and there's a specific meaning for you to be here. And it may be hard for you to understand it at certain times, but just understand that you are bigger than what you think you are. And no matter what, keep on going. Fight the good fight. And if you guys ever need anything, I'm just a phone call away. Message me, write me, whatever. It don't matter. I'm here.
Damn, bro. That's growth, bro.
Yeah.
That's growth. And, you know, that's the reason why we started this, is be able to impact, change lives, and influence people, you know. Like I said, it's all about the people, and you know, we're all in this together. It's just some people have more answers than others, you know. And I just hope that we can continue to touch people's lives and put them in the right direction. Like I said, this is not trying to push religion on you, because that's not what I do. That's not what I'm about. If you want to talk about it, that's a different story, but I will never be the one pushing it.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, Josh is here for you guys. I'm here for you guys. And, you know, you definitely have 2 resources here at no cost.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know all the answers, but we'll figure it out together.
Awesome, brother. Well, I appreciate you, man, for coming by today. Like I said, it means a lot to me. And
of course, man.
It was beautiful, brother.
I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for having me on.
Awesome, brother.
Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Like I said, we'll go ahead and put all his information down, but follow his podcast as well. Plug yourself in, bro.
You can follow me on Instagram, JP__NLL. That's where I have everything on there. You can see the podcast, you know, print shirts, embroidery, all that stuff. So,
and we'll go ahead and plug you in the description as well.
Yeah.
So again, brother, thank you so much, brother, and I God bless you, man.
Appreciate you, brother. God bless.
Later, brother.
Later. Damn, bro. I didn't know it was an hour.